We're at the east side of the structure, going north towards the front, going around the house counterclockwise. This is the breakfast area, east window. We got some cracks between the brick and mortar right there and right here. This tree is too close to the structure. A tree should not be closer than 25 feet to a slab foundation to allow for root growth. And then the branches are going to mess your roof up, they're going to mess your siding up, and they're just a nuisance. Trees shouldn't be placed that close. They just shouldn't. Right along here on this side of the house, this is the east side of the house, we've basically got negative drainage. Water is always coming in this direction. More like level across here. That's a little better. This isn't so good. This is the kitchen window. And we got some very fine minor cracks through the brick and mortar there. There's a clean out. We have some cracks in the foundation. This is a parge coat. For lack of a better description, a parge coat is like a cake frosting. It's an aesthetic issue that smooths out the sides of the foundation and serves no other real purpose. That the parge coat has a crack in it is not indicative of the foundation having a crack. It's just the parge coat. And there's voids between that termites can use to take advantage of to enter the structure unobserved. Some of the sealant around the windows has been done and redone. Lawn sprinkler should not be closer than 12 inches. A lawn sprinkler spray head, not closer than 12 inches to a structure. It looks like we've been having some rodent problems here. This is not the only rodent bait station that I've noticed around the structure. This crack right here and over here and any other place. Okay, that's a shrinkage crack. Some people call them corner pops. Call it what you will. But that is not a sign of foundation problems. It's just not. That's what holds the brick up. It might be a brick issue. You might want to come in. I see it quite often. People repair them. Don't blame you a bit for that. Encourage it, actually. But that's not a sign of foundation. If it's in the span of a hand and it's going this way, what happens is the cement is continuously shrinking because it's continuously drying, and you'll never be able to measure it. Your brick is the only part of your house that actually grows, and you'll never be able to measure that either. The brick and the cement have different properties. They're different densities, different materials. Due to thermal expansion, they contract and expand at different rates. There should be a plastic poly, should be a metal flashing under there, honestly, but in Texas, you get what you get. I mean, you're not going to find one here. You're going to find plastic poly. So they traditionally install a plastic poly around the corners. They rarely get it to the corners. They rarely get it right. They just don't. So we don't have the same sliding capabilities here. We have the different thermal expansions and contractions. And corner pops develop. But that's not a foundation problem. That's not a foundation problem. If you had that same crack over here, we might be having a different conversation, but we're not. So along the front of the house, we have wood mulch underneath the drip lines. Texas Structural Pest Control Services considers that conducive to wood destroying insects, and it is. And everybody's got it. I get it. Everybody's got it. We got some gravel in here too, some volcanic gravel. I guess they tried to do all right. And right here, you see those bolts sticking out? Let's see if we can get a better image. Tree too close. Tree too close. Roots. Parge coat. New bricks. We got some soffit damage here. We got some roof issues above this. These exposed beams, actually they're probably decorative. They're decorative. But we've had some wood rot here. And here's a better picture of it. These are piers, and not original piers. These are piers that were added for foundation repair. These piers were added for foundation repair. So we know, that's the only reason we know that there's been some foundation repair. The documentation that I have, boy, this phone just goes like crazy, doesn't it? 817 this time. Good home, this is Bud. Yeah, this is Crystal, and I'm a auto specialist. Warranty on a recorded line. So, speaking of recording, there's some documentation I was presented with, 2 documents, 2 PDF files that have bids for foundation repair. Those documents do not have an engineer's stamp on them that satisfactory work was completed. Those documents do not have water and gas pressure tests documented on them. They're just bids. The 2 documents I have are bids for work. The only reason I know that any work was done is because I can actually see the piers. Just FYI. These exterior receptacles, they should have in-use covers on them. I say in-use covers so that you can plug something in, like your Christmas lights, for example. You want some Christmas lights this year? You plug them in like that, and you can't close it. So now the water can get in. So an in-use is like a bubble cover, and you would have one of those. And that's what we installed today. When this home was built, this is what they installed. So there's that. It hasn't been updated, upgraded, retrofitted, call it what you will. But, by the way, grandfather, whatever, we got a little bit of wood rot going on up there. These exterior light fixtures, these here are exterior light fixtures from Hillbilly Home Inspection. These exterior light fixtures should be sealed so that moisture can't get into, or to prevent moisture from getting in to your wall structure. Coming on along, we already talked about the drains. We already talked about probably, maybe not, an electric service, a water shut-off valve. We talked about the high water pressure. Trees are too close. We got a little bit of cracking between this window and the brickwork right there. We got some cracking between this window and the brickwork. That's a good one. That's a better one. You want an example? Here, we can use that one. There's a good example. Missing a screen here. I'll be doing some counting. That's a corner pop extraordinaire. But that's a pretty good example of what I was talking about. This is holding up the brick. And by the way, we got a nice vertical crack going through here. Got one on the other side as well. A little farther in. Right in here. Right in here. It's because it's holding up the brickwork. The brickwork. Not necessarily foundation. Coming on along, we've had some repair up here on the fascia. We've got gable vents. We've got mixed vent system. Gable vents. Soffit vents. Soffit vents. You've already seen this on the top. Where are you? Wind turbines. That might help. You might be getting some benefit from that, actually. But it's against code. You're not supposed to use mixed venting systems on an attic. It's supposed to be one or the other, not both. Not anything you can throw at it. These are tension cable ends. So this tells us that this foundation is a post-tension slab. There are several post-tension slabs. We don't know which type of post-tension slab this is, but we do know that this is a slab that has post-tension cables in it, which is a very strong system. These piers, they make several types of piers. We just know that this is a pier. I believe this is a heliarch, if I'm not mistaken, and I might be. So don't count me on that, but there's different types of pilings and piers that you can use to correct a foundation. So you might want to look to see what was actually installed, because that wasn't specified, I don't believe. I didn't read the documents that well. As soon as I saw what they weren't, I just gave up on them. I was looking for something else. Cracks between the brick and mortar. We're going to talk about the condensing unit in a little bit. We are. By the way, it's not very old. It's like 3 years old. That's good. Feeling heat. Okay. The siding's buckling over here. Siding's buckling, coming down. And then we got some wood rot along the bottom edge of the siding. What do I see? That's a real good picture of it right there. There we go. Then, on your electric service panel, it's below grade. The sides and the top should have been sealed to help prevent moisture infiltration into the structure. This hole should have been sealed to help prevent moisture infiltration into the structure. That's another one of those rat baits. There it is. Then the siding, this casement, it should not have been installed directly to the cement because water can wick up capillary action off of the cement into this brickwork, and that's why it's been repaired. That's why it's been repaired. And they came in and they put another piece. This one I believe is metal. Yeah, they came in with a metal one here, but they took another piece over here, and what they do? They installed it right back like it was. Just put it all the way down to the ground. If it didn't work the first time, maybe it'll work the second time. I don't know. This is your sprinkler system, your weather sensor for your sprinkler system. Right there. Oh, and some of this flashing is loose. It's loose around here. You got some repairs right there. Well, that's a good one. I'll take a picture of that one. Loose flashing. See how loose this flashing is? See how loose? It's not lapped properly either. And it's loose. If it's lapped properly, then it wouldn't have been so obvious. Still would have been loose. This fence is backwards. You got a backwards fence. Some little kid, I don't know what the odds are, but some monkey grabbed this pole and used these rails and jump over into the swimming pool area. That's backwards. That's not the way it's supposed to. It's not code. It's not code. If you pull a permit to resurface this swimming pool, you might have some other issues. One way to cure this is to these sides, these boards, put them on this side. I mean, don't take these same boards, but add boards around. Your fence will be stronger. Your soundproofing will be better, and it'll be safer. Gates are not supposed to open into the swimming pool area. They're supposed to open out away from the swimming pool area. And they're supposed to be self-closing. This gate's just waiting for me. Here I come. It's me. Woohoo! Let's go down here in the alley and look a little bit. Did I warn you this is going to be long? It's not long now. We're almost done. Water is draining from the pool some kind of way, but it's all the way across. All the way across, and we got moss in here. And I would do a leak test on that pool. Just saying, because something's not right here. Something's not acting right. This is your gas meter, 6 inches above the ground. That's fine. There's a disconnect shut-off valve right there on the left side. We got another one on the wall we're about to see when we're able to walk through the gate that will not shut, will not self-close. Coming on along. Some of our siding is a little worse for wear here. These high-pressure sodium lamps, they're bright. They're bright. They're not very energy efficient. I gotta say that. But they're bright. Gaps between the walls and the vertical wall casement. I think we already mentioned that. Coming along, another gas shut-off valve, and that's sealed up pretty good. These right here are called weep holes, and you got them, and that's good. If you didn't have them, I'll be writing it up. Homeownership 101, all roofs leak, all walls leak. We designed them to shed water faster than they accept it. These weep holes help with that process. Most of the time it's just vapor. I've seen them expel water before. But most of the time it's just vapor. But they're there by design. If they weren't there, I'd be calling that deficiency. Coming on along. Swimming pool light is on. Okay, and it's been on. I turned it on, and it's been on. The GFCI, this is the only exterior GFCI on the structure, and it works. It works. We got level grading and drainage around here. Now this siding around here, it's not supposed to butt up like that. You're supposed to have Z-bar flashing between the panels. You don't have that. That's not here. You're supposed to have Z-bar flashing over the fascia there and the window itself too. So the windows weren't flashed properly. The siding wasn't flashed properly. From day one, it wasn't. This is the only rain gutter This is the only rain gutter on the house around the back. And it's a little worse for wear, I gotta say. It was not replaced when the roof was replaced. It goes down towards the corner. It's supposed to go down towards the rain gutter. It doesn't even do that right. No GFCI here, no GFCI on the front porch. No, the only GFCI is at the swimming pool. I believe I mentioned that. It looks like there might have been a foundation pier installed there. It looks like it. Okay. This bad boy looks like he's okay. He's got stands underneath him. This is called checking. This is called checking. That's natural. That's natural to the product. Believe it or not, I mean, you're just not going to get it that doesn't have checking. And it doesn't affect the strength, the pressure, its ability to withstand a load. It's an aesthetic issue, again. One thing that we've got going on here, though, that I'm kind of disappointed to see, are those deck screws. Okay, those are started. Never mind. I get carried away. I do that. I get carried away sometimes. A lot of people tell me that. The rain gutters do not discharge water. Rain gutter does not discharge water far enough away from the structure. We got a little bit of cracking underneath this window here. And that's the end of the riverboat tour, everybody. I'm glad we all made it out safe.